a year
roughly.
that are
We generate revenues, yes.
Again, there's a lot.
And for members of the public that don't know, these regulations that Captain Walter's talking about is the exact reason we closed the juvenile detention facility years ago. Because there, you gotta have eyes on the youth 24/7, and it just costs prohibitive.
The question I was gonna have is, or you do have the ability to determine which inmates from
Yes.
Bear County come, so we don't.
Yes.
Okay. Wanna make sure that-
So anybody that we come that does become problematic, the sheriff can request that they be removed and returned to Bear County. So yes.
And we don't get,
We're not getting bad.
we're not getting the
Bad
worst
so
out
bad.
of Bear
We
County.
hope not. But that being said, if they do become a behavioral problem, they can be removed from our school facility.
And it's in the agreement.
Okay. Any other questions, observations? Okay. And those in favor of approving the ILA with Bear County for jail services, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Moving on to item 123. Consider discussing take appropriate action to approve the reclassification of an administrative deputy to an administrative corporal pay grade 22.5. The change in this position will bring added duties and responsibilities. Captain Wall.
So this is a vacancy that will soon be vacated because of retirement. This position was a fleet manager position at the sheriff's office. Due to some changes with our enterprise, we are kind of redoing this position and doing a reclassification, changing it from a fleet manager to a corporal position. Because we're adding some different duties to that position. With this change, it will actually change the pay grade to a corporal pay grade, which is currently less than what the fleet manager is making. So this will result in also a salary savings.
I'm looking for approval.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the reclassification of the administrative deputy and administrative corporal sheriff's office, grade 22.5. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 1.24. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve a contract with CocoGit, am I saying that right?
CoLogic.
LLC, for software as.
CoLogic.
CoLogic, okay, I got it. CoLogic, LLC then, for software as a service agreement.
Yes, this is a multi-year contract that will require your signature, Judge. It has been presented to the county attorney, which she has approved. CoLogic provides a service. It's basically a web-based mobile CAD system. So for y'all to simplify it the best, it's basically an in-car computer. This will be utilized by a limited number of people at the Sheriff's Department. It is CJIS and NIVERS compliant. It will be paid for through our Chapter 59 funding, which is our usual.
I'll make I move that the court approve this contract with CoLogic LLC for software as a service.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the CoLogic software agreement as presented. Any discussion?
Is this going to result in any more memory needs or anything like that? Basically,
This is a web-based platform. It does not utilize anything on the Cook County network or anything that would require any services. But it's cloud-based. What information is stored is cloud-based through their company. So it's a web-based platform. It is something that we're kind of using as a temporary solution until as we move forward with our IT infrastructure upgrade and we become CJIS compliant. It is something that, as we've talked in the past about having office-wide in-car computing, but we are temporarily can't do that at the moment. So hopefully that's something that we'll start looking at in the near future.
But this is a Band-Aid.
A little bit.
Okay. Before we move on to the next item agenda, those in favor of the CoLogic agreement as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. I'm getting ready to call 1.25. Why don't you ask the citizens to come in?
All right. Whenever y'all are going to stand up.
Right there, it's just fine.
In a minute.
I'm calling item 1.25. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve reading the resolution honoring Kirk County Deputy Vince Isley for his service. And Captain Waldrop has presented the signed copy and framed copy of the resolution that I'm about to read, Vince. This is a resolution of Kirk County Commissioners Court congratulating Kirk County Sheriff's Deputy Vince Isley on his retirement after 21 years and 11 months of law enforcement and community service to Kirk County. Whereas Deputy Isley has served the citizens of Kirk County for 21 years and 11 months and has announced his plans to honorably retire on June 29 of this year. Whereas his career in law enforcement spans 36 years of service, including a variety of duties and promotions with the Rhinelander, Wisconsin Police Department, Cook County, Illinois, Sheriff's Office, Tom Green County, Texas, and now concluding at the Kirk County Sheriff's Office as the Administrative Deputy Fleet Manager. Whereas he has earned 3,140 higher education and TCO hours, as well as the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Master Peace Officer license. Whereas he has received numerous commendations from citizens as well as within the department and throughout his career. Therefore, be it resolved that on this day, June 24, 2024, Kirk County Commissioners Court does hereby thank and congratulate Deputy Vince Isley for his service to Kirk County and wish him and his family the very best in their retirement. Vince, come on forward. The photo opportunity. Let me say, when I first met Vince, I couldn't figure out his accent. It certainly wasn't Texan. But I want to present this to you. We'll shake hands back here. Okay, hold this right here. Congratulations. Thanks, I appreciate it. That's smart.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, before we close on this, I just want to thank Vince myself, because I've had the pleasure of supervising Vince for the last about 3 years, and it's been an honor. It really has. And everything I've ever asked of Vince, he's done willingly and done it correctly, and he's taken on some tasks with the county that a lot of people probably would not want to do, but he's done it very well, and I just want to tell Vince how much I appreciate it. So,
Believe it or not, I'm going to right on time, 10:30. That's item 1.26, discussion regarding the proposed budget and tax rate. And I think some people have come. I don't know if they turned in a speaker form to you.
No, I have not seen any.
But this is an opportunity to get input from the public regarding the proposed budget and tax rate process. Is there anyone that wants to address the board? Well, then let me just kind of give you a status report. I was kind of out of pocket last week and still have to catch up on the proposed budget with the auditor. But we're still hovering right around $63.5 million for a budget ask. We have a number of new hires included in that, mostly full-time, some part-time. We have a number of departments that are asking for raises for not only the department head, but also department members. Some of them all the way across the board. We have one situation where we have to decide whether we're going to move responsibilities that was the subject of a contract between the court order of the county, and we're juggling all that. And the one thing that we have, and I say we because I don't do anything without talking to the auditor when it comes to the budget. She knows that's true. But we haven't really addressed what we're going to do about the raises for people, especially for all departmental, which is kind of that's a big swallow. Doing all departmental raise, or what we're going to do about the wage adjustment. And for those of you that don't follow our budget process, we do not call it a COLA, a cost of living adjustment, because we can't raise it that high. And so a number of budget cycles ago, we shifted and call that now just a wage adjustment. If we're going to try to pay more money to our employees to keep them somewhat close to what the inflationary rate is, we call it a wage adjustment. And that would apply to all 350 so employees in the county. Of course, that's always a subject of interest when we do that. And these are just some of the moving parts that I share with the public that we're looking at and trying to figure out what to recommend. And I will close by saying that whatever I do recommend is exactly that, a recommendation. This court will set what the budget is. There may be things that I don't include in the budget that you may want to add. There may be things that I put in the budget that you disagree with. But it's a recommendation. And then we'll have, I think, 3 workshops or 3 opportunities to sit down and work through that with the court, full court, before we come up with the final budget. And that's the way the process works. And I'll ask one last time, is there anybody who wants to address the court at this time? There being none, we'll move on to the next agenda item. 1.27, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to increase approved budget for the IT office remodel. And this is Corey Tennis, our new IT director.
Morning, everybody.
Everybody that sees his name spelled, just remember, tennis. It's like a tennis ball.
Like a tennis, yep, tennis ball, that's right. So this is a slight modification to the already approved design for the footprint for the IT office. The only addition that I'm asking for on this is a separate wall to actually create an office for the director position. As of right now, we've got 5 of us sitting shoulder to shoulder, and there's loud server fans going on at all times. I have worked with Shane there at maintenance. He felt that the additional wall would run $300 for the wall, probably $150 for the door, at an additional cost of $450. A little
Rounded it up to.
rounded up to $1,200. We felt that we should be able to get this project done.
And let me just say that Corey did come to me and talk to me about this before making the request. So I appreciate the teamwork.
Yes, sir.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the budget increase for the IT office remodel as presented. Any discussion?
A general comment, I still look at this as a short-term fix. I don't look at it as a permanent thing that needs to be done. I think that IT needs a different, better, we're going to look at it. But I totally agree that he needs his own office, and this is a patch.
We're probably tripped in your office space. We've had storage room behind the tax office.
Yes, sir.
And, but it's still not adequate.
Yes, sir.
And we understand. So we have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous. Thank you. Item 1.28. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve a statement of work with RX Technology for the Active Directory Rebuild Project. Mr. Tennis.
Yes, sir. This is just the final approval step of the Active Directory rebuild. It has been approved by, or reviewed by the county attorney. The funds are actually going to be coming out of the 116 debt funds, so this project is covered financially in this budget.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the statement of work for RX Technology.
I've got to ask you, I'll second that, I'll ask.
And we've got a motion and a second. Discussion.
What is the Active
I was
Directory?
going to say, you need to tell them what it is.
So in a short answer, it's basically everybody's user rights and privileges within our network. And right now, it's not running as nearly as efficiently as it should. This project will clean it up, put all the roles and responsibilities in the correct folder so that way everybody can access their required parts of our network.
This is the roadmap.
Yes, sir.
It's already in the current year's budget, right?
Yes, it's already funded.
Pretty pricey.
Yeah.
It's a 6 to 8 month long process.
It's a 6-month project. It takes a while.
And this is the first step before we can actually make the move into Office 365 or any other virtualization.
It's first.
So wait a minute, if it's gonna take 6 to 8 months, are we gonna get this done with 23, 24 budget funds, or is it gonna spill over into the next year?
It will spill over into the next year. However, I have been working with Tanya, and we've got a plan for all those funds. Because it's actually coming out of the Debt 16 funds,
I just have to give her the timeline of what will be completed in this fiscal year, and then how much will be required into the next fiscal year. But that money has already been set aside.
That's part of the open budget, that stays in the fund balance that we spend the next year. Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. 1.29, consider discuss and take appropriate action regarding the interlocal agreement for mental health program of the Hill Country Regional Public Defender's Office by and between the state of Texas and the counties of Bandera, Gillespie, Kendall, Kerr, and Medina for the fiscal year 24-25. This is a grant agreement that the PDO is getting from the state and asking us to be part of that with the other 4 counties that we're in the PDO for.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second your motion.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the mental health program with PDO as presented. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is really something that I won't be that involved with, I don't think. But I mean, the court really needs to actually look at the PDO and how much it's saving us. My understanding is that more and more of the cases are having to go to outside counsel because of conflict of interest issues. And I think we should really look at this. It's started out saving a lot of money. I think it's still saving us money, but I think it's one of those things that we really need to look at and not just go blindly forward with the PDO in future years. But that's just a comment, apparently from Mr. Holt, that he
In
can
this-
be looking at this next year.
In this agreement, this is for next fiscal year, but there is basically a non-appropriations provision that if you guys don't fund this, because it will increase the county's contribution to the PDO, if during your budget discussions you don't decide to fund this part, you aren't committed to the contract.
We've kept our options completely open to PDO on everything. And I think it's good to have an updated report on it. We haven't talked about it in a few years. Kerr County still has, in most cases, of any of the 5 counties in the PDO. And that's largely because we have 3 courts instead of the typical 1 or 2 that are in the other counties. We've got 2 district courts and the county court of law. So,
And another comment on that is just a point that about reviewing it. There's Kelly and I have been pretty adamant that there's not be an automatic renewal provisions in the PDO. They wanted, most of the counties wanted this automatically goes forward and forward. And we kind of, no, we need to look at this and discuss it over here.
we're pretty conservative. Keep eyes on this thing. Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the mental health program with PDO as presented. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Item 1.30, consider discuss and take appropriate action to approve reclassifying job title from senior election clerk to deputy county clerk bookkeeper to be paid out of the ARPA for the current fiscal year FY 24-25, moved from Department 402 to Department 403. Ms. Alford.
Yes, I have promoted the senior deputy elections clerk to the chief, and now I would like to change her job title to bookkeeper because I feel like the county clerk's office needs a bookkeeper to do the monthly reports and other things that need to go along with that. And the senior clerk is being paid out of the ARPA fund since it was a new position in last budget. And since this is a new position, I've talked to the auditor and we've talked to GrantWorks, and it's still considered a new position.
So, I make a motion to approve that we discuss.
I'll second your motion.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the change of the senior election clerk to the deputy county clerk bookkeeper as presented. Discussion?
So the person was being paid out of ARPA and will continue to be paid out of ARPA.
Now that it would be moved to for 403 to the chief deputy line item, or the clerk's line item.
Okay.
So then are we replacing the senior election clerk? What happens there?
The chief deputy will be elections, just like she is doing, and the chief for the county clerk's office. And then the senior election clerk title would be changed and job description would be changed to bookkeeper.
Okay, so is it a new position, or are we just changing?
No, we're just changing the title of the position. It's not a new position, everything's the same, there's no more money.
Just so that everybody understands, the senior elections clerk
Yes, sir,
is now your chief deputy.
that is correct.
Okay. And the senior elections clerk last year was paid out of ARPA funds.
Correct.
But going forward as chief deputy, you'll be paid out of,
County clerk's budget,
right.
the 403.
And the bookkeeper position,
Will be paid out of ARPA fund till the end of this year, then we will have to put that into the 403 county
the end
clerk
of
budget.
this fiscal year, not that.
Or,
Next fiscal.
is it next
This
fiscal?
fiscal year, it will still be available for ARPA funds. Next year, we'll have to cover
And
it.
that's one of those new positions that we added in elections last year, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. Any other discussion?
So will that reduce the amount of ARPA funds available that we're gonna talk about on July 1st?
No, because it's already a position
Position.
currently in the ARPA is vacant, and she's just changing it to a different position in order to fill it based on the needs of her department.
That position was approved as an ARPA expense last year, and it will carry over for next year, I understand.
There's not any positions that will carry over for next year for ARPA at this time, except for the temporary.
Okay. And those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously.
Thank you.
That brings us to the approval agenda. Item 1, which are budget amendments.
Yes, you have 17 budget amendments before you. The last 5 are for grants or special revenue funds. The first ones are mainly on line item transfers, just looking at everyone's budgets where they are right now, what they're projected to spend by the end of the year.
And this is part of that truing up process for you here.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second your motion.
We've got a motion to approve, we've got a motion and a second to approve the budget adjustments as requested. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. 2.2, pay bills.
Yes, invoices for today's consideration amount to $1,295,774.15.
I make a motion, we approve. the
Second.
expenses.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the named bills that are presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Late bills,
There are not any.
auditor reports.
Yes, we presented 2 audit reports, one for the tax assessor, tax office, and the other one for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, and we're asked that you accept the reports.
Make a motion, we accept those reports.
So moved.
We've got a motion and a second to approve the auditor reports as presented. Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to monthly reports.
Yeah, then monthly reports for May, the treasurer's report, county treasurer, Tracy Saldana. Payroll approval, county treasurer, Tracy Saldana. Environmental health and animal services, Director Ray Gibbons. Justice of the Peace, Bill Ragdale, Precinct 4, and Judge J.R. Horn, Precinct 2, and District Clerk's Office, Don Lance. I'll move we accept all of the monthly reports as read.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the monthly reports as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. 2.6, court orders.
We have a court order from our June 13th meeting, 40671 through 40691. We all look to the order. I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the court orders as presented. Any discussion? Then those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 3.1, staff reports from department heads. Carl Hastings.
Thank you, Judge. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality today at 2 p.m. is having a public hearing for their Chapter 230 groundwater availability rules and regulations that they are trying to get into conformance with the recently adopted Senate Bill 2440, which made groundwater availability certifications mandatory throughout the state. With regards to plating, there are some waivers and some exceptions. They have asked if you have comments to prepare them and send them in. I have not sent these comments in yet. They're due tomorrow. The public hearing is today. I'd like to send it today after sharing them with you. I have shared these with Headwaters. I visited with Chris Childs and Tom Jones. They have seen my comments, and my comments are in concert with their comments. They're also submitting comments. They will be at the public hearing, I'm told, in person today. I will be at the public hearing virtually through a Microsoft Teams meeting to give these comments. These are the comments that I have in reading the rules that they have. Under section 230.2 definitions, we believe that definitions are needed for expansion of an existing public water supply system and groundwater under the subdivision. You can also see where they use those terms in sections 230.3, 230.5, 5A, and 230.8A. Section 230.4, 3, 4, and 5, the Office of the Kerr County Engineer questions the necessity of obtaining facsimile numbers as the industry standard in this day and age has become email. Section 230.5, 6, paragraph 1, line 4, word 6, we found a grammar error. We believe they need to delete the word which, W-H-I-C-H. Section 230.8A, paragraph 1, line 9, word 2, believe that they need to add TCEQ-20982. That is a form that they have referenced multiple times throughout their document, but for whatever reason they left it off on this one. And then finally, section 230.8A, we do have a question. It is clear that the intent of Chapter 230 groundwater availability certification is to conduct aquifer stress tests to ascertain and certify the availability of aquifer groundwater 10 to 30 years following the full development of a platted subdivision. However, in the case where expansion of an existing public water supply system, and I'm reading, these are quotes, these are straight out of their rules. Their rules say, in the case where expansion of an existing public water supply system or installation of a new public water supply system is the proposed method of water distribution for the proposed subdivision, site-specific groundwater data must be developed under the requirements of Chapter 290, Subchapter D of this title, relating to rules and regulations for public water systems, end quote. Chapter 290, Subchapter D, does not require the use of an observation well, nor are there requirements surrounding the use of previous pump tests. Furthermore, site-specific data generated from a Chapter 290 Subchapter D pump test allows one to calculate a transmissivity value, but without an observation well, one cannot calculate a storativity value. What is TCQ's intent in requiring site-specific groundwater data to be developed under Chapter 290 Subchapter D for when expansion of an existing public water supply system or installation of a new public water supply system is the proposed method of water distribution for the proposed subdivision? That's our question to TCEQ. I did read the regulations from 1999 when these rules were put into play, and there were some backup information from, I guess, the legislative sessions or however it was they came about those rules, but they never explained why 25 years ago they adopted this. It's still in the proposed rules. It's not proposed to be changed. All the changes that they're making are really to be in conformance with Senate Bill 2440. But it's our opportunity to question why are we doing it like this? Why is that? Why did TCEQ adopt these rules 25 years ago and nobody said anything until today? Those are our, I would like to submit that document. It would come from my office if the court is okay with that. I will be presenting those at the public hearing later this afternoon. They're going to have a pre-question and answer at 1:30. At 2 o'clock is the public hearing, and then they're going to have a post-question and answer approximately 30 minutes after the public hearing.
Is this in Austin?
Yes.
It's in Austin, yes, sir.
Charlie, my only comment is I'd sure love for you to ask TCEQ, why don't they have any requirements for public water suppliers who have permitted wells to conduct some sort of periodic test? They keep taking on additional customers based on something that was done 20 years ago or so. And it wouldn't be that difficult to actually test their wells to see if they're still capable of supplying the water that they've been assuring everyone that they can supply. Things have changed, our aquifer levels keep going down. So I don't know if it's every 5 years they ought to have to retest a permitted well or something, but to me there ought to be a requirement somewhere that guides that.
Yes, sir. If it pleases the court, I'll ask that question.
I think another issue is with public water systems, how the new rules interact with the CCN rules. Yeah, I mean, it's a gray area there. On one hand, telling them that you will provide water or you release the customer, and the other one saying you got to do stuff that, a bunch of other stuff, and it doesn't seem consistent.
Sure. Was there something in there about model subdivision rules versus requiring a TAC 230 when it's impossible to do it?
No,
That's
sir.
where model subdivision rules apply.
Right.
That would be great to get that clarification as well.
TCEQ wouldn't be
I
the,
guess it's not.
that would be a water development board question.
Yeah, but still, it's probably good to put it out there.
So if I understand correctly, Charlie, you're asking us, the court, to approve you submitting your comments as you're into this.
Yes, sir.
This is under a status report from department heads.
So we don't get to take action.
We don't take action,
I want you to know what I'm going to do.
Well, and thank you for.
I'm not asking for permission, telling you what I'm going to do.
Well, so the public knows, I met with Tom Jones this morning before he left. And we went over some of this very same stuff. And I think y'all are in concert, right?
We're in concert. We visited on Friday together, and
So that the public knows that you will be on there by Zoom, or what is it?
Microsoft Teams, yes, sir.
Teams.
Basically a team, a Zoom machine.
You'll be participating in the meeting, and then we have Tom Jones as well as Chris Childs there in person.
Yes, sir.
So Kirk County will be represented.
I hope they have a long afternoon. I suspect this is going to be a rather long hearing, but it's good. But yeah, I appreciate you coming and telling us what you're going to submit, and I don't believe you,
We like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're dealing with it. We speak. Any other department heads? Let's move on to 3.2, which is task force and elected officials. Okay, we're being there. And let's move on to 3.3, status reports and liaison commissioners. Any status reports?
I'll just get two real quick ones. For the VFDs, there is a CARFA meeting scheduled for July 3rd, and we are working with the county attorney to prepare the agreement between the county and CARFA for the Swiftwater response boat that was approved last year. And the other thing I'll just mention, we did have the annual board meeting for the airport. That was held on June 13th. Overall, a good meeting, but boy, potentially a lot of costs down the road for future projects upgrades.
A lot of money, but a lot of, hopefully, I was not able to attend out of town that meeting, but fortunate that we get a lot of funding from Textile Aviation and FAA. They fund the majority of it, usually it's up to 10%, which is still a lot of money.
There were some items in there that we fund 50%, in our case, 25, because the city can still.
And that's,
big budget implications, not necessarily next year, but down the road.
That's why I was a comment. I've advocated that we cut a little bit into the airport on a regular basis so that these things don't hit us so hard. But,
Any other liaison reports? Okay, with that, we're going to go into executive session. We have 2 items to discuss. One will be personnel matter 4.2. This is pursuant to section 551. Yes, take 5 minutes.
11:40.
We're back to session, and we have no action to take following executive session. And at 11:40, we are adjourned.